it's Thursday, July 10th, and I have to try to do this in one take because my premiere freaked out again, so one take it is. It's weird because I actually have like things to tell you now because I feel like I don't ever see you in person anymore. But I am sad that I missed the concert. Partly because I really, really wanted to go, and partly because I hate wasting money, and so like spending money on a ticket that I didn't end up using was super, I can't think about it or it drives me crazy. But I'm glad it was fun. Also, I did work on 4th of July, but I did get paid in time and a half, so that was nice, and we closed early, so it wasn't too bad. But I've been thinking a lot about like the fact that I mentioned that I called my dad for medical advice, right? And so I called my dad about when I cut my thumb, and then so after we went to lunch on Monday, I started feeling weird kind of Monday night, and I went and picked up Kat because she came to stay for a couple days last week, and I was like, maybe I ate too much at lunch, I don't know what it was, but about quarter to midnight Monday night, so almost Tuesday morning, I started throwing up, and I thought I had food poisoning, and so I called my dad, and I waited until about 3 in the morning, which is 5 a.m. Indiana time, because my dad's pretty much the only morning person in my family, and I was like, Dad, I think I have food poisoning. How long can I throw up before I should be worried about being dehydrated and having to get an IV? My poor dad. He's like, why do you think you have food poisoning? I was like, well, because I've been laying on the bathroom floor throwing up every 20 or 30 minutes for the last 3 hours. And that lasted for another 2. And no human should have to throw up like 15 times in 12 hours. It's just not a thing that should be possible. But it was, and it was gross. But it wasn't actually food poisoning, because then I've talked to like 5 other people who've been sick. And so there was a 24-hour flu that went around in like May, and apparently it's making a second round, and a bunch of people have gotten it. So watch out for that. But I feel bad because even when my dad came to visit, because I convinced my little sister to come visit, and then she didn't want to fly by herself, so my dad flew out too. And while they were here, Tuesday our sink stopped draining, and we're like, that's not good, like, it's okay, we'll just call maintenance and they'll come and fix it or whatever. My dad tried to help us fix it, and like nothing we did worked, and I was like, I'm sorry, Dad, I didn't know it was good. I'm glad you're here, but I didn't know it was gonna be so exciting while you were here with our sink. Because it ended up being a clog in the main line, which backs up into the basement apartment, like the first basement apartment. And so whenever people like upstairs would do dishes, our sink would back up, and it was, starting to flood. And so at like 11 o'clock at night, we had to call, we had to call the emergency service line for maintenance, and 11 o'clock we had the plumber in cleaning up the main line. That was fun. So my poor dad has had to deal with a lot the last couple weeks. Though I did take him and my little sister to the Nickelcade while they were here, because they'd never really been to something like that. And my little sister had to assess the prizes before we started playing games to see how many tickets she would need. And she's like, we need like 1,000. 1,500 if we can manage it. I was like, 1,500 tickets? That's so many tickets. But we ended up getting about 960. So she got a little puffball stuffed animal and some candy. She had this little owl. That was cute. And they had fun with that. So that's been kind of exciting. I took them to the airport this morning, so they've just been here for a couple days, and then they were gone, and I start school again this next week. So that's fun. But yeah, exciting. More phone calls to my father about being ill, but I'm feeling better, and I'm glad that the week is kind of done. Keep being authentically awesome.